Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Cruise Corner podcast. Well, as we draw to the end of our inaugural season of the Cruise Corner podcast, we're so lucky because our guests just keep getting better and better and better. And I genuinely mean that today because I'm delighted to be joined by Karen Cameron, Deputy Head of Trade for Ambassador Cruise Lines, and her colleague Jade Cheadle, Business Development Executive. Welcome, guys. How are you both?
Really good. Yeah,
Great,
thanks for having us today.
You're very welcome. You guys have travelled some way today. We're up from Scotland, early start.
Yeah, early start. So left the house about 5:30 this morning just to be here because that's how important this is. So early start.
Well, we couldn't be more grateful. Thank you so much, guys. So we're going to talk mainly today about some really exciting developments at Ambassador Cruise Lines, mainly the new Fly Cruise Caribbean program that you've launched, which is really a proper game changer for you, especially as the affordable cruise line. But I thought before we kind of dive into the details of that, I thought we'd start off with a little quiz.
What's coming here?
Don't worry, it's not going to be too challenging, but a big kind of part of the big reason why the Fly Cruise program has kind of made waves in the industry is because, you know, it's, like I said, the affordable cruise line launching something that's really genuinely great value for a 2-week holiday to the Caribbean. So I'm going to throw some similar holidays at you, all land-based. And I'd like you to have a quick guess at what you think the lead-in price for that holiday is. And we're going to kind of compare it to what you guys are offering in a similar region, in a similar space. So how does that sound?
Yeah, Jade, over to you.
Jade, you ready?
Recently.
Have no pressure.
Okay, the first up, here we go. So 7 nights in Barbados with sandals, so all-inclusive, obviously, in September 2026 with economy flights from London Heathrow. What do you think the lead-in price for that is?
I've actually done a few sandals, so I know how good their food is. So I'm going to go with 2.5 per person.
I'd have went to about 19. So what there's 999. What about that for 7 nights?
Karen, you are a winner, the closest guess.
Oh, that's embarrassing. I'm not going to say we've got a long time, Jade.
£2,049 per person for 7 nights in Barbados with sandals. Okay, second one. Similar, 7 nights all-inclusive at impressive Punta Cana Hotel in the Dominican Republic. All-inclusive with flights from BA. What do you think?
What month's that for?
Sorry, this is for September next year.
Right, okay.
Okay, I'll go lower this time. I'm going to go for 18.50.
16.99.
No, it's a lot lower than that. It's 1,002 per person.
Wow.
Right, okay. 7 nights.
But that's only 7 nights, isn't it?
Yeah, only 7 nights. Okay, and the last one, I'm going to throw you a slightly bigger one here. So 14 nights, all inclusive at Warwick, Paradise Island, Bahamas, with return flights from Heathrow, again for September next year.
14.
2.6. Oh no, 2 weeks ago. 3.2.
I'll go 2.8.
Ooh.
There might be a deal on, I don't know.
Jade, you're the closest, but it's £3,549 per person. So let's kind of do a quick compare and contrast to what your lead-in price is, Ambassador Cruise Line, for a 14-night fly cruise to the Caribbean. What are we looking at the minute?
So we were looking at 999, but that deal has now sold. So we had a 14-night turnaround from Manchester or London out to Barbados with Virgin flights. It was 999, but it's just went up to
12.99 now, yeah. So again, with Virgin flight, London or Manchester, 1,299.
And what are you getting with it as for that $1,299?
What are you not getting? So with that, it's a 14-night cruise. Full board, so all of your food's included, flights with Virgin, so we're really quite happy about that as well. And then all of the luggage is bonded, all of your transfers are included. Yes, it's just a really nice, simple, easy process.
And what's sort of the reaction been from the trade specifically since you've launched this?
So it's been really fantastic at Jade, as always, and a great support to Ambassador Cruise Line. So they've been fully behind us. We did launch a bit later, so we didn't launch until February of this year. But we've literally just launched again for 26, 27 because the trades have been fully behind us. And it's honestly, they've just been absolutely amazing. So they've supported our deals, they've had offers in their windows, they've done takeover days for us. It's been fantastic with the trades.
Fantastic. And you've been on board to experience it firsthand, right?
3 times. Yeah. So I've been in Aberdeen for the ship was in there, and it wasn't as so glamorous because it was a bit cold and winter up in Aberdeen. But then we tamed 37 agents out to Palma on an extreme day trip to board of a South Renaissance out there. So Jade, how amazing was it?
Yeah, it was the best day. So I'd seen Renaissance in Belfast. Again, a bit like Aberdeen. Wasn't the best weather. And then, we decided to do an extreme day trip to Palma. So obviously for agents to really sell the product, they need to see it. So we came up with this idea that we'll take them out for an extreme day trip. So we boarded them on Renaissance, and it was flawless from start to finish. The food was amazing. The service was incredible. I think the sun really helped the day as well. But with ambience and ambition as well, it just finishes our fleet for now. We had the best day.
And I've been in sort of consumers I've spoken to who cruise a lot and have been cruise with Ambassador before, and also agents who've been on board before. The food offering is kind of always comes up on top for Ambassador. Talk to me a little bit about sort of the dining experience on board the ship, and maybe how does that get tailored for the Caribbean sailings? What kind of, when it comes to sort of F&B, what can guests expect?
So guests can expect the traditional Ambassador cuisine on board. So we have got our specialty dining on board. You've got your standard main dining in the main dining restaurant as well. You have got your snack bars, you have got your pizzas, you have got your obviously room service. So there is something for everyone at Ambassador Cruise Lines, whether it's be on Ambition, Ambience or Renaissance. I always say this, I am such a beige, really fussy eater. I am a nightmare. But whether you're a nightmare eater and you just want a cheese toastie and a slice of pizza, or whether you're looking for 5-star a la carte dining, there is something for everyone. And that's whether it's in Renaissance in the Caribbean or whether it's on our ex-UK on Ambition and Ambience as well. There is something. So you are more affected than me, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll eat anything. But the staff are amazing as well. So in the main dining restaurant, obviously you get like your 5-course menu, but the staff are just so amazing. So if you wanted something slightly changed or anything like that, they are more than happy to help. But there's always something available. And like Karen said, if you're fussy or if you're like me and don't eat anything, there's always something available.
And we're great for dietary needs and basically for any medical or dietary. So I don't know if you know this about Ambassador Cruise Line, but pre-cruise, you let our guest services know what your dietary or medical needs are for food. But when you actually go onto the ship, you'll actually be meeting with our head chef, our executive chef, on the first day of your cruise, where they actually speak to you, taking note of all your needs, your allergies, your medical requirements, and they tailor the meals so that you don't need to do that every single night with the waiters. So I think that's something that we're really unique with, and it's fantastic. The only main difference, Jack, in the Caribbean is we're doing open dining or flexi dining.
Sure. Rather
than having our standard 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. in the evening. It is a bit more flexible because we are conscious that our guests will want to be in that Caribbean sunshine, lying the top deck. That is the only difference in the Caribbean.
Sure. I mean, one of the things I find quite exciting about this whole proposition is like you guys are a smaller operator compared to...
We're tiny.
Yeah, you're minuscule compared to the other operators.
Good things come in small packages.
Mercy for Jade. Almost as if you pre-prepared it. Well, talk to what are the benefits for guests for being like having smaller ships operate in the Caribbean?
So I think the main benefit is I think people have gone back to wanting smaller ships as well. So as the industry's got bigger and bigger and ships have got bigger and bigger, obviously customers have followed that. But then we're starting to see, and even like as my days as a travel agent, you're starting to see people coming in, they're just like, actually, I want a smaller ship. So we're perfect for that. So Renaissance is 1,100 guests. You've then got Ambition, which is 1,200, and then Ambience, which is 14. So you really do attract the people that do want smaller ships. So I think the best thing for us is we can get into ports that those bigger ships can't. So it makes our itineraries a lot more exciting. So even if you've done a Norway cruise before with a a ship that's bigger, you can do it with us and visit different places. So you can do the same cruise more than once, but still visit different areas. Also creates a lot less tender. I think because our age range, we kind of target for like the 50 market, even though we're for everyone, well, adults only for everyone. Not having tender on many ports at all, that really makes a difference when people are looking to book their cruise as well. So definitely the destinations make a huge difference. We really do plan our itineraries well as well. You know, we do look in to see wherever people are going, how we can be different, and having a smaller ship just makes it so much easier.
Sure. Can you give me some examples of some of the shore excursions you're offering that give you that point of difference?
Yeah, so obviously when you come into Barbados, you're going straight from the flight. You come through, your bondage luggage is there, and now you're going out to Caribbean and all the different islands. So we've got everything from what you'd imagine your beach excursions, whether you're looking to do kayaking, canoeing, there'll be something for everybody, basically with Ambassador Cruise Line on an excursion. So it could be your traditional excursions, or you can have something a bit more wild and wacky. So our guests do find out what the excursions are about. Is it 6 to 8 weeks in advance? So there's a list of loads of destination experiences, we call them, for a guest to actually look and think, right, do you know what? I want to do this because that really suits me. Or if they're looking to do something as a group that is something for everybody at Ambassador Cruise Line.
You mentioned there's a growing desire for these small ship experiences. What do you put that down to? Is it the exclusivity, the intimacy, the more relaxed vibe on board?
I think it's all of that, Jack. I think one of the biggest touch points for us and what stands out is the warmest welcome at sea. So obviously you've touched on affordable quality, and we can afford to do that because we are smaller as well. But it's the warmest welcome. So our guests absolutely love the fact that generally, if you're in a UK port, you can do from car to cabin within anything from 20 minutes and onwards. But it's like when you come on board, you're the waiter, the bar staff, the cabin steward, they get to know you by name. They know your drink order. They will have a conversation with you. It's that personal touch. It's that service that having a small ship experience makes it so different. And as Jade touched on, you don't have to stand in thousands of queues of people to get off the ship or to get back on the ship when you've done an excursion. And I think that's something that's absolutely key. It's that small, intimate, everyone gets to know you, don't they? And you start off going on with maybe no friends, and you come off with new family and friends when you've been on the ship.
Customers just love it. So because you can pick whether you want like a table for two for dine-in or if you want to share as well. And just what like Karen touched on, like people do genuinely make like friends. So we're really good for solo travelers as well. So like 30% of our customers are solo travelers. And it sounds so corny, but people do go on and then they just become like lifelong friends, and then they'll cruise once, twice, 3 times a year as a group. So which, is, we've created the warmest welcome at sea then. So, but our staff, the itineraries, I think everything together creates that.
So taking all that into account, like what types of travelers should agents be pitching Ambassador to? You mentioned solos there. You mentioned sort of the over 50s market. I mean, it seems like there's a few different types of travelers who this type of experience could really appeal to.
I think, so we do kind of target for the 50 plus market, but it really does depend on the itineraries, how long that itinerary is. So from 2026, we do have a couple of multi-gens, which children are allowed on, but from 2026, after our last one, we are going completely adults only. And that's kind of just been on like feedback and things as well. So customers love adults only, don't they? So, but it really does depend on, like I said, the itinerary, how long. So, we've got 70s, 80s, 90s cruises that will obviously like attract those kind of decades. We've got anything from like 1 night to 44 nights. So the 44 night cruises, they are going to be retired people. I don't know if I could get 44 nights, I'll be gone. But that is kind of going to be your retired market, where you're kind of Iceland, you're more kind of like explorer itineraries. That's going to draw like a younger crowd. So as much as we do, like we have kind of aimed for the 50 plus market, there really is something for everyone. So I did the Liverpool to Bristol repositional this year, and you literally had anyone from like 18 to 90, but it just creates such a nice atmosphere. I've done the British Isles, which you'd think like British Isles is definitely going to be the older generation. And don't get me wrong, I probably was the youngest person on board. But I had a great time. It just creates such a nice atmosphere, especially with like our themed cruises as well. So we've got we had a greatest hits one and we're doing that again. It just draws in kind of all different crowds. So as much as it's 50 plus, it's everyone.
So to touch on what Jade said there, so obviously Ambition and Ambience is adult only as of basically August 2026. Renaissance is adult focused, so just kind of make sure that's clear to our listeners.
There's a
There is a
distinction.
difference, so basically our 2X UK will be adult only from 2026, but Renaissance will be adult focused. So we primarily are talking to our agent partners about it's an adult focused ship, and so we can take children on, but we would definitely recommend that you're also looking to that adult orientated cruise.
So why have you just made that adults only? Why are you still kind of opening the door for families?
So because obviously the feedback we've had from obviously our guests, our partners, is that they're looking for that adult only focused cruise line, which is where we're going to. But because we share the ship with basically our Dutch partners and French partners, so that's why they have got a family market and more than what we do. So that's why we're saying adult focused on that particular, on the Caribbean journeys.
Sure. So, as you said, there's a plethora of kinds of travellers who could find their home on and have a great holiday on Ambassador, but it's about finding the right itinerary, I guess. So where would you point agents to kind of for itinerary research or materials or assets, or that where they can kind of really find that knowledge so they can start pairing Ambassador itineraries with their clients?
So we've also got our own trade portal, which our agents have all got access to, where we've got basically images, videos and training modules there. We also partner with Online Travel Training, who are fantastic. We started working with them about a year ago, and any new parts of the business, so the likes of races coming into the business, anything new from Ambassador, we create modules with Online Travel Training. We do a lot of trainings with our agents face to face. We're part of CLIA. So there's within the industry, we're touching a lot of different points with different partners, but definitely for that go-to, it would definitely come to the trade team. So we're a 13-strong trade team. And considering we've only got 3 ships, that is a real benefit. So our team can actually be doing training, coaching and visits, events. But I would definitely say that online travel training is key to that starting place.
Sure.
For trade portals, really good as well. So I find like customers nowadays will want to go to a certain place, whether they've seen it on Instagram or TV or wherever they've seen it, they'll want to go to it. So if they come in or they phone up or whatever and they're like, I want to go to this place, with our itineraries you can actually filter it, so then it will bring up all of the itineraries that includes that, and you know, even if it's, I think agents really need to offer like a cruise, but I just love cruising in general, but it just gives another option. So if they, you know, if they do want to go to, I don't know, Dominica, offer it on a cruise, because then they get to go to so many other places as well. But yeah, our trade portal is really helpful for just anything really. Like we've got like 15,000 photos on there, so anything they need they can find on there.
So given your reputation as sort of the affordable cruise line, I wanted to kind of touch upon sort of value and affordability, because when Cruise Trade New released our annual report at the start of this year, one of the things we found was that affordability is going to really going to come into travelers' decision making in 2025. I mean, I can't remember the percentages off the top of my head, but a large part of our survey said that one of the things that's going to prevent them from booking a cruise this year was the cost of a cruise, which is quite surprising given the fact that we know that cruise compared to land-based is such good value for money. In terms, from what you guys have seen this year and then looking ahead into 2026, why is it important to kind of, well, how important is value going to be in 2026 for starters? And are you sort of adjusting the way you guys work to make sure that consumers can still afford to go on holidays, on these cruise holidays? And I guess what I'm trying to get at here is, are holiday budgets still tightening, or is there going to be a little bit more flexibility going forward?
Yeah, I think when you've obviously looked at your report, and Clear's brought out a report this year as well, saying that consumers are looking at affordable holidays, and they're looking at either shorter or longer durations. It's both that's coming in. So Ambassador Cruise Line, obviously we do the regional ports, which makes it easy access for a guest to get to. So straight away you're losing some of the cost from your travelling. So within most of our ports, we'll get 7 ports across the UK, and most of them within about an hour and a half travelling distance from someone's house, or from my house or from Jade's house. So that takes away some of the cost element. But when you do look at our prices, we class ourselves as an affordable quality cruise line. And we have got our customers in mind when we're looking at all the prices, when we're doing our inventory, when we're doing our revenue management. It is look at what can our guests afford. So Jade touched on, we have 1-night cruises. We've got 45-night cruises. So there is something for everybody, whether it be a longer duration or whether it be a short 2 or 3 night break to lead them into the cruise industry so they can actually experience and enjoy that. But cruising, it's just fantastic because your food's included, your entertainment's included, your room's included. So can you compare, you've done some comparisons at the beginning of our kind of podcast here, and when you look at the value for money that you get when you're actually cruising, you've got lead-in prices for like $259 for short breaks, and say we had the Caribbean last week for $999. What can you get when you break that down to a per person per day price? I think the Caribbean was, without a calculator, I think it was maybe £74 a day. You can't even, I'm seeing a Premier Inn in London tonight. My Premier Inn's £200. So when you look at that, but when you come on a cruise with Ambassador Cruise Line, you've got headline entertainment, you've got quizzes, you've got amazing food, you've got your cabin. Honestly, it is affordable way to travel. And by going from the UK, you cut out that flying element as well, and the transfers, and your holiday starts there and then. So yeah, I think it's definitely a way to travel going forward.
And it all has a budget, don't they? Like, I know, like back in my days of being a travel agent, you'd be like, oh, what's your budget? I don't have one. Yes, you do. Like, everyone has a budget. So, and, you know, even if you are doing a fancy holiday that year, we are affordable. That actually you could do an Ambassador Cruise Line as well. So I think, yeah, like you know, everyone's, you know, pinching and that at the moment for money, but I think you just get so much for your money with cruising in general, but especially with us, like Karen just said, like when you're getting a cruise for, that one was 74, but we do have some for like £50 per night. It's a no-brainer.
And I think it's the service that comes along with it as well. So everyone's looking for quality, but everybody wants the service as well. So they want that affordable piece, but they want the service, because we can all go and say we want it as cheap as possible. But then if you get bad service, you end up moaning about it. We're British, that's what we do. But with CSQ, so customer service questionnaire scores, we get them completed after every single cruise. And our customer service questionnaire feedback scores are sitting at 91% just now. And I recommend, so when guests come off and you look at the NPS, so your Net Promoter Scores, it's 94% is what our guests are recommending to their family and friends. Tie that up with cruises from as little as $259, whatever it may be, or $999 for a Caribbean, and it's affordable quality with the service. So yeah.
And you mentioned something else quite interesting. Like, you're right. Look, if you were going to get a message over to agents, ambassadors necessarily need to be a consumer's only holiday that year. They could be maybe used to other types of travel, whether it will be on land, safari, ski, whatever. But there's room maybe in their holiday budget for an ambassador cruise as well. Is that the kind of message you're trying to drill down to agents as well?
Yeah, and what we're finding is we're not drilling that message down, but basically we're there in the market, we're there to be noticed. And what we are seeing is that our customers, our travel agents, guests, are actually taking a second into a cruise, and they're taking that with Ambassador Cruise Line. So they may be taking their first cruise with a high-end 6-7 star cruise line, but they want to cruise again. But then that's when affordability comes into it. They maybe are a bit pinched for money, so they're taking us as their second cruise. And then what we're finding is they're turning into Ambassador and Cruise Line guests for the future, because they see what we can do. They see how good the service is, entertainment and the food.
Yeah, it's really nice when you get customers like that and you get the feedback from them, because, you know, they have just spent however much on, you know, the 6-7 star cruises, but they can have, you know, 3 cruises for the price of that with us. And it's surprising the amount of people that will do that, will do the 3 cruises rather than that. And the feedback that we get is so good. Like, it's always our food, entertainment and the service that come out the best. And most people you speak to that have sailed with us will say that. So yeah, it's really nice. But yeah, if you can get 3 cruises for the price of 1, why wouldn't you?
Another thing you guys are obviously known for are your regional cruises around the UK. Talk to me a little bit about that, and how does that give you sort of separation in the market, and what are the benefits to customers who can maybe get on board a ship within, say, an hour of being off their home.
I think our kind of, when we're talking to the travel industry, we say from car to bar within 20 minutes. When we're talking to our customers, it's from car to cabin within 20 minutes to 25 minutes. And it's that convenience. So with the 7 regional ports across the UK, from as far north as Scotland, Dundee, right down to Portsmouth.
Shall I name them all?
Yeah, go on.
So we've got Bristol, Portsmouth, London Tilbury, Newcastle, Liverpool, Belfast.
Dundee.
Yeah.
So there's a port for everybody. And it is so easy to actually literally travel from your local port. It's the convenience, it's the ease of hassle, and it's affordability as well. And so you can travel with friends as well. It's honestly, that local port just makes such a huge difference. And we are renowned for basically having the local ports, and I think we are. And so I'm not going to quote myself, but I think we are the biggest regional cruise line, and it's out there. So don't quote me on that, just not quite right. But say we have over 190 destinations on sale, and that includes our regional ports. So the ship does, Ambition is our ship that does the regional ports during the summer months. And the itineraries vary, don't they? So when you're in Dundee, because it's further north, or right down to Portsmouth, there is a different sailing and a different duration for our guests, no matter where they're actually coming from, yeah.
I think more and more people don't want to fly either, because it saves so much time. So, whether you're long haul, short haul, you're in that airport 2 or 3 hours before you've got to travel to the airport, where especially with the regional departures, you get there on your embarkation time. And like Karen said, car to bar within 20 minutes. So yeah, you're actually
having for customers.
We know what you mean.
Yeah. Everyone loves a bar.
But your holiday starts then.
Yeah, your holiday starts then and there. So you're not So if you are on a 7-night cruise, you are getting a 7-night cruise. Well, I've just come back from Egypt. I've done cruises this year as well. But, I only did 5 nights, but it was kind of 3 and a bit, because by the time you've done the airport and everything, you are just wasting that time where you could be in a bar or in your cabin.
And I guess thinking from the travel agent perspective, being able to offer all those regional ports around the British Isles, that then opens up Ambassador to loads of different kind of clients, because if you have a client based in the North or Midlands or in Scotland who may not want to travel down to Southampton, Dover, or even Liverpool, being able to have a port up in the northeast or in Dundee all of a sudden makes a cruise much more accessible and a much more sort of palatable proposition.
Very much so, and that's where we are seeing obviously the success of Ambition. She's only been with us for a few years. We introduced her to the market, and she was brought in to mainly focus on that regional proposition, and say we have seen the regional departures just grow and grow and grow. Our travel agents, the support that they give us in these regional departures, they are phenomenal. Honestly, we could not do this job without our travel agent partners. They're just immense, and they know the destinations, they know the itineraries, and because they're only dealing with potentially 6 itineraries from one port, they know it inside out. They know that they just know it, don't they? They're so clued up in what they're actually doing. They're the backbone to what we're doing for it.
Like you mentioned, with 94% of customers recommending their family or friends, you do find, so I live down in the southwest, so I kind of cover the Bristol, Portsmouth ports, cover all of them, but those are kind of the main ones. You will find people from those areas traveling to Liverpool, Newcastle, because actually they like the itinerary there.
Yeah.
But everyone's always got family somewhere. The amount of times I hear that, I've got family there, so I'll just park there and stay with them. So actually, even though the regional departures, it's normally about 2 hours or less from your home, we do have customers that travel to other ones just for the itineraries.
Mm. And so talk to me about some of the destinations that people can sail to. What kind of itineraries are on offer from, say, Dundee, say, Portsmouth? What directions are your ships going?
Yeah, they're going everywhere, and I think that's the thing. So literally we go from, obviously, whether it's Dundee right down to London Tilbury, we cover everywhere. So whether it be your Norways, which is really popular, or whether you're looking for the Caribbean, we literally have a port that suits everyone. I've just done Iceland this year for 2 weeks, and that was a bucket list experience. So we literally sailed out from Liverpool, because again, it wasn't available from Dundee. So I came down to Liverpool and basically up to, I can't wait, where to go first? Anyway, it was Iceland second. And honestly, the actual turnaround Iceland, it's just not what you've expected at all. But you've been obviously on the repositioning cruises, quite a few of them, which are popular for our travel agents and for guests on board, because they start at one port.
Really popular repositionals, because especially for guests and for agents as well. So yeah, I did the Liverpool to Bristol. So obviously it's not going to a destination, but you are just experiencing the ship, you're experiencing the service. So it gives everyone a really good, idea of what we're about. But what's really good with our repositionals, so obviously from Liverpool to Bristol, you're not ending where you started. We do offer coaches back to your original port as well.
Okay.
And kind of vice versa as well. So if you wanted to get a coach from Bristol to Liverpool and then sail back down, we do that. So that like our repositional cruises, like some start from like £189 for like 2 nights. Like he said, like you can't even get a Premier Inn for that. So I think they're a really good way of, and obviously we've got to get one ship from one place to the other anyway. So why not let guests enjoy it at the same time? But even from like Bristol, we go to Iceland, we do France, Spain,
Canary,
Mauritius.
That's honestly,
I do like that we do like Morocco, Egypt, Cape Verde we've been to. So again, because we're smaller ships, we can offer a lot more of destination.
Iceland is something that's really popular. I mean, it's been popular for ages. Even when 10 years ago, I was writing about Iceland as sort of the next hot destination. But the desire for that region does not seem to be going away at all. Like,
it's not.
To put you on the spot here, what would kind of the lead-in price be for an ambassador cruise to Iceland?
Oh, gosh, I'll put him on the spot. I'm going to pass you to Jude here. I would say the lead-in's probably around about the $13.99 for your inside cabin, and then obviously right up to your suite cabins. And just when I'm talking about suites, I was lucky enough to have a suite on my Iceland cruise. So the destinations were phenomenal. I stood in glaciers. I was basically seeing the geysers. We've seen every waterfall in Iceland. Magical. Absolutely knackered at night though. So when I got back onto the ship, we were exhausted, me and my husband, because you'd been out all day and it was freezing as well. But we actually had a suite, and the suite proposition that we have is just phenomenal. So you get early embarkation, you get late disembarkation, you get room service in the morning, you get your bathrobes. The binoculars, believe it or not, I would never have thought to use a pair of binoculars, but on the Iceland cruise, whale watching and dolphins. So you were standing out in the balcony and you would actually, that's my turn for the binoculars, because we both wanted to look out and see what we could actually see. So yeah, there's you get your canopies, you get all these small touches with your room service when you're on a suite. And again, sometimes the suites are a lot more expensive, especially if you're booking in advance. So again, at Ambassador Cruise Line, we would always recommend our agent partners, which they all do anyway, is to book in advance, get their guest booked, because if not, again, from the regional ports, we do sell out, especially Dundee and Belfast sell out so quickly, and then guests basically can't get for another 2 years before you can actually get on another cruise with us. But yeah, there's the Iceland one. That's probably
you're bang on. It's
1349. There we go.
That's so from Bristol, that's 17 nights. So actually, if you're looking at that price for like 17 nights, it's incredible. And that's Bristol, and you end back in Bristol as well. And it's not that many sea days. Obviously, starting from regional ports, you do get a few more sea days than if you were to fly. But actually, our customers love that, because they love being on board. Our plans for like the day, there's so much
going on. Spas, whereas I'm not touched about that. Ardency Spa on board is basically obviously our spa area, and our guests don't need to pre-book it, and it's included in the cost. So I used to say it was free, but then I get told it's not free, it's included in the cost. So you can literally use our relaxation rooms, our saunas, our steam rooms, our gyms, spin classes, yoga, everything is included in the cost. All the guests need to pay for is your nails, your hair, your makeup, any treatments. But again, when you talk about the affordable quality side of it, if I was to go to a spa day down in London, a couple of £100 per air site, whereas that's included in the cost. So when you're heading out to Iceland or wherever you're going, you have got the sea days. There is so much going on during the day from an entertainment perspective. But if you just want to go and relax and take a good book with you, we've got a library on board, which it's amazing. I like an old-fashioned book. But you can actually go to Bronte's library, take your book into the relaxation room, and just it's floaty glass ceiling, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just Stunning.
And if you said after a long day as well, if you can get back on and go and relax in the spa, you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. Wow, what a wonderful image. I've just felt myself relaxing while just listening to that.
That's exactly what I did first few weeks. So good.
We're going to sort of wrap it up there because I've always taken away too much of your time already. But just in terms of giving our listeners some takeaways. So first on the Caribbean, when does your Caribbean sort of sailing season start, and where can agents go to kind of find out more information about that?
So it started. So our first repositional sailing went out on the 30th of October. So those customers are back now. And then our second one went out just yesterday. So it's every 2 weeks now, up until the 9th of March is our last one. So we'll fly those customers out to Barbados and then they'll sail back into London Tilbury. And then we have just launched for 2026-27 as well. So that will start in October 26 and then through to March 2027. But yeah, it's all on the trade portal, all of the prices, all of the itinerary. So it's, our trade portal, I think, is one of the easiest to use.
And remember, what I thought was really interesting was conversation that don't necessarily need to pitch ambassador, someone who the ambassador might be their only holiday that year. If you have clients who maybe have a bit of holiday spend left over or going into, maybe they booked their holidays for 2026, but they're looking at squeezing in a week-long holiday somewhere, agents listening to this, go ahead and pitch ambassador, because like you said, you get so much for your money and the lead-in price is so tempting.
Even for like Christmas markets as well, like so many people do want to do the Christmas markets, but the time you've paid for flights, accommodation, your food, that's easily like £1,000 minimum. Well, we've got 5 nights for like 349, and that's all of that included. And again, because we're small, so like Amsterdam, for example, we actually dock in Amsterdam, so you can get off, go and do your own thing, get back on for lunch, get off again. Like, it's just so nice and easy. So even if you've had your big holiday this year, whether it be a week or a few days, ambassador is definitely an option for that.
Something we've not touched on just quickly again, if guests haven't experienced this and want to try us, we do festive events down at London, so at London Tilbury. So when it comes up to the Christmas period, you can have your Christmas party on board with Ambassador Cruise Line. So we have our Christmas party on board. So we do it as in, you can go in for your lunch for the day, have a full Christmas festive turkey lunch, can't you? And you can actually have an overnight stay on board where there's a Christmas party. Everyone's dressed up. So we get a lot of people from the London Tilbury area. We've got travel agents who use it for their Christmas party nights. And the lead-in price, I think, is like I'm going to say 109. 109. So that's a great way for guests to experience Ambassador Cruise Line if they haven't done it before. Just get them on the ship, let them see what the service is about, let them see what the food's about. And there's something different.
Wonderful. Well, from the Caribbean to Iceland to Christmas, I think that's a good place to wrap things up. Well, Karen, Jay, thank you so much for your time. It's been great chatting to you both, and thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you.